Ba weep grana weep NINI bong. Hi everybody. Here I am back with another review, this time of Transformers Reveal the Shield Deluxe Class Wreck-Gar. He dares to be stupid. Well, wrong incarnation, but you get the point. Anyway, very, very cool. I'm really happy that I finally found this guy. I found him at a store called Ollie's. I don't think there are too many of them around, but if you do happen to have an Ollie's around your area, you might want to go check in case you didn't pick up the later end Reveal the Shield Deluxe Class figures. They did have pretty much every Reveal the Shield Deluxe figure there. They had the Reveal the Shield tracks, Jazz. They did also have the Optimus Prime, and I think there was one other. I can't remember it, but anyway. So they do have a lot of the Reveal the Shield Deluxes there, so you might want to check them out if you still haven't found the Reveal the Shield later in Deluxes. They also have the later in Generations figures from last year too, like Scourge and Cup and that kind of thing. So very cool. Definitely worth checking out. Anyway, as you can see, he's not the repaint. I reviewed the repaint first. He is the Junkion mold that they developed for the Generations line. And real quick, before I forget, you will recall that this is a very large motorcycle for a deluxe class Transformer. And the reason for that is they can actually ride each other. If you have a repaint of the Junkion mold or another Wreck-Gar, you can, if you want, take your Junkion figure. There are two pegs, or rather, there are two holes on the seat of the motorcycle that you can kind of see here. And what you want to do is you want to take your Junkion figure, and you want to splay its legs out a little bit, and then you want to take it and you want to mount it on these two posts right here on its crotch plate. What you want to do there is you want to push it up, and then you want to kind of wiggle it back and forth until it sits on it, and then you can pose it, and he actually can ride the motorcycle. And it is actually possible to, if you work with it, get him to hold on to the handles. It's not perfect. It is kind of awkward. He does have to ride it Kawasaki style. I mean, there's really no other way to make it look good other than to make him ride it Kawasaki style. But, I mean, it's not horrible. I kind of like it. I really do dig it. I think it's a nice little touch that they added. They didn't have to add it, clearly, but it was very nice that they did. So if you do want to build your Junkion army, there's another reason to do it. There's another reason to get more of this mold. One, it's a really nice mold in the first place, and I wouldn't mind any other repaint of it, but I definitely think that you should get it, just so you can actually have your Junkions ride each other, because that is pretty cool. Like I said, not perfect, but still pretty nice that they included it. Anyway, you can see that it is pretty much the same bike as the Scrap Heap, I think was his name. I've forgotten his name, but the other repaint of this figure that I reviewed. Very, very cool. A bizarre mismatch of colors, which does befit a Junkion in my opinion. I do really like it. He does have the rub symbol up on the front, up on the front of the windscreen for the motorcycle. You can rub it. I mean, it will reveal an Autobot symbol. I'll go ahead and hold it up to my light just to get it going real quick. Come on. Well, you can kind of see it does fade back, and it does fade back. I'm probably going to end up taking it off just because I don't really care for the look of the rub symbols on any of the figures, but oh well. Not a whole lot of features to discuss. He does have a kickstand. I mean, you do have to use it because he pretty much just, if you don't use it, he just topples over. It does roll. Again, I've never really understood why it's necessary for a motorcycle Transformer to roll, but oh well, what are you going to do? A lot of people don't like the flames. I personally don't mind them that much. I think it gives it a little bit more of a personality, so I really don't mind it. But yeah, overall a pretty cool bike mode. I really do dig it. Transformation, exact same as Scrap Heap. You want to go ahead and take off his weapon. We'll get to that in a minute. Then what you want to do is you want to take this back section. You want to unpeg it from this chest piece right here. Then you want to flip it up and around like so. Go ahead and flip in the license plate. Like so. Flip that up. Bring the entire leg piece up and around, and then you want to split it like so, just like that. Then what you want to do is you want to raise this piece up. Then you want to go up to the front. You want to split it. You don't want to split it from the front because it really doesn't work that way. Now you want to take this side. You want to split it off from on one side and then split it off from the other like so. Then you want to take this whole chest assembly, and you want to rotate it around. Go ahead and fold out the rest of his legs. Then you want to take his legs, and you can see that there are two kind of orangish joints right here. What you want to do is you want to bring them down, and then you want to peg them together, like so. It can be a little bit tricky to get them apart, especially when you're doing transformation. This side goes off fine. It's this side that's really difficult, and I do worry about that breaking, so I would be careful and maybe customize it. I might modify it, so it might be a little bit easier to peg in, but we'll end up seeing. Anyway, then what you want to do is you want to take the foot on this side. You want to raise it up, and the handlebars will automatically fold in. I should also mention that the handlebars, they are made of soft rubber, but they don't seem to bend nearly as much as on my other Junkie-On figure. Then what you want to do is you want to stand him up. You kind of have to fiddle with this back foot to make him stand up straight, since he does have the asymmetrical design. I'll go ahead and flip his head up. Then you want to take this arm, and then you want to rotate it around and peg it in. Rotate it around like so. I'll go ahead and flip down the kickstand just to give him a little bit more mobility. Then you want to rotate the arm down. You can, if you want, untab this wheel and have it peg onto his arm. There's a little peg on his arm and a little slot on the wheel. It's kind of an arm shield, and that looks okay, but personally what I like to do is I like to just keep it all tabbed in as one piece, because I think it ends up looking better. You can actually, if you want, go ahead and just pull it right off. It's on a ball joint. You can't actually put it in his hand if you fiddle with it. So if you want to homage the G1 figure, which did end up using the wheel of its bike mode as an axe, you can do that if you want. I personally don't, just because I think it's stupid, but no, you can't do that if you want. Go ahead and peg that back in, like so. And then just rotate that back. Flip this forward, flip it down, up, and flip it down. Flip up the head. And then with this axe, what you want to do is you want to flip it forward. You can if you want. They come scrunched up. You can, if you want, rotate these around. They're all kind of pinned together, so they do all flip out as you flip one of them. You can flip it out if you want to form an axe. Personally, what I like to do to homage the G1 figure, rather than have a wheel, I like to fold it up just so he has a circular axe, which really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I think it's perfect for Wreck-Gar's personality, so that's usually the way I do it. But then you want to peg it in his hand. I should mention, I don't think this will end up breaking, at least I hope not. If you can see, you can't really see it too well, but he does have a pretty major, yeah, you can see it right here. He does have a stress mark in his hand, and it's not horrible, but it does look like that is something you should pay attention to, because this could end up snapping. I'm really hoping it's not, because I have moved this axe in and out of his hand several times since I've got him, so it hasn't snapped yet, but I think that is something to watch out for, so I thought I'd mention it. But anyway, then just straighten everything out, and there you have Wreck-Gar in robot mode. And just, yes, this guy is just awesome. I love the way he looks. I loved Scrap Heap, but this guy just takes the cake. He is just epic. I love everything about this guy. He just looks absolutely perfect. Very nice head sculpt. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a zoom on it. Very nice head sculpt. I love this. It does have the beard. In the G1 cartoon, it was a little bit more of a squarish shape, but I couldn't care less. This is just awesome. He does have beard bits. They are made of rubber, thankfully, not that very fragile plastic that they made Generation Scourge's beard out of. Very cool. I would be a little bit careful with this one right here, because it does seem to bend and warp a little. I hope it doesn't break off, but it is something to be a little bit careful of. I should mention also that the camera is actually picking this guy's arms out to be yellow. They're not. They're this very weird apricot color, which is really cool. I love the look of it. I don't think there's ever been any other Transformer that uses apricot as a color, but I just absolutely love it. I think it's great. But anyway, for posability, he does have a head that rotates left and right, which is pretty cool. He does have ball-jointed shoulders, which is nice. On this side, they're a little bit limited just due to the wheel assembly, but on this side, they're pretty much totally free. He does have an upper bicep swivel, which is nice. He does have a single-jointed elbow. I kind of wish that it had a double-jointed elbow, because in some poses, when you bend it out too far, it does look a little bit awkward. I think a double-jointed elbow would have fixed that, but oh well. He does have that joint that allows him to rotate side to side as well as go back and forth, so he does kind of have what I like to call a dance ball joint, which is kind of cool. His legs do go in and out. They go forward and back. He does bend at the knee. Again, his knees are a little bit low set, and on this side it can be a little bit fickly because they do have due to the transformation, they do have two joints. One is due to the transformation, and one is just the knee. Actually, the knee doesn't bend backwards on this side. I didn't know that till now, but anyway. So, you can get some pretty decent poses. Oh yeah, his feet are on ball joints. The back heel of this can be moved. On this side, it does rotate back and forth and does go back and does go up and down, but there's no joint in the middle of it. You can also, if you want, rotate it around. So he does have the same type of feet on both legs, but personally, I think it makes it look a little bit more wacky to have two different types of feet, because it does help with that asymmetrical design, which, as I said in my scrap heap review, is something that I shouldn't think fits every junkie on. But anyway, for some real quick size comparisons, first off, here he is next to scrap heap. I think it's called scrap heap. That's bothering me. So, somebody leave in the comments what this guy is, because that's going to bother me for a while. But anyway, so you can see he looks pretty cool. I mean, like I said, I do think that overall this guy has the better color scheme. This guy's pretty cool, though. I do really like his kind of mismatch of colors. I should mention also that they did paint the eyes on this guy, but unlike on Scrap Heap, they did it a whole lot better on Generations Wheeljack. It just looks absolutely terrible on Generations Junk Heap, but it looks a lot better on Wheeljack. Also, for a standard size comparison, real quick, here he is next to Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee, and you can see at the head he's actually just a tiny bit taller than Bumblebee, which is nice, especially since the later figures definitely got downsized, so it is nice to have a figure that's actually larger than the average deluxe. And then just real quick, I'm too lazy to edit, so do forgive the crudeness of this cut. Here he is next to my almost completed Autobot Season 3 cast, which you can see he just looks really, really nice with. I usually have him and Scrap Heap posed together along with Wheelie in the front, since they were all from from the planet of Junk. So you can see that looks really, really nice. I really like the way he looks. I can't wait for the Transformers Prime Ultra Magnus to come out, because I'm going to use that as my temporary Classics Ultra Magnus until they make an actual Ultra Magnus for us. But I think that'll look really cool. And then I'll have the full Season 3 cast completed in some way, shape, or form. So that's really, really cool. But anyway. So, overall, yeah. Really, really awesome little figure here. Definitely highly, highly recommended. Again, check a store called Ollie's, which is really cool. They do have an online site. I don't think they sell stuff there, but it can tell you locations of some of the stores, but definitely worth checking out. A really cool store, and a really nice place to find Transformers, because I finally found this guy, and I've been looking for him for ages, so that's really nice. So there you go, my look at Transformers Reveal the Shield Deluxe Class Wreck-Gar. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Ba weep, grana weep, NINI, whatever it is to say goodbye. Peace out, people.